Why do I own a Panasonic GH2 in 2019, and is it a viable option? First, let's get something out of the way. If you have plenty of money to spend, of course there are better options than a camera from 2010. But if you are on a budget and looking for a cheap B cam, or on a really tight budget and just want something that shoots full HD, the Panasonic GH2 might be worth considering. So how did I get my hands on a GH2? Well, I managed to pick up the GH2 with a 14 to 140mm lens for roughly the same price I was able to resell the lens for, basically making the camera free. And I think being patient and taking your time to find a good deal is really key when buying old cameras. Let's quickly go over the specs, and since I'm mostly into video, that's what I will be focusing on. The GH2 has a 16 megapixel micro four thirds sensor capable of shooting video up to 1080p using an AVC HD codec. It allows for full manual control even in video mode and has the ability to accept an external microphone. This, however, is through a 2.5mm jack instead of the normal 3.5mm, so an adapter will be needed. It has an HDMI out, which allows for the use of external monitors. The signal also becomes clean when pressing record on the GH2, so it can be used for external recorders as well. But what's really interesting about the GH2 is that it can be hacked. This will allow for significantly higher bit rates than what comes out of the box. There are multiple different hacks available, so I encourage you to do a bit of your own research. Some allow for intra-frame compression, some allow for super high bit rates, all the way up to 176 megabits per second instead of the original 24. If you're looking for a slow motion camera, this isn't it. With no high frame rate options other than 50 or 60p at 720p, you're better off just shooting in real time. Which is fine if you're just using it for a second angle. So if you're looking for a really cheap B cam and already own a micro four thirds camera, this might be a good choice since you can use the same lenses for both, and the GH2 uses the BLC12 batteries, which can also be found in G7, G80, G85, and so on. Since the GH2 uses a micro four thirds mount, it is very easy to adapt lenses to it. So if you already own a couple of vintage lenses, then the total cost of the whole setup might be really low. What are some reasons not to buy the camera? It's old. It was released in 2010. That means old technology, the low lights will not be as good as a micro four thirds camera that comes out today. If you're willing to spend a bit more money, you might get a camera that can shoot higher frame rates so you can get some slow motion. It might take some time to find a good deal, and if you're in the need of a camera now, then that can be a problem. You might not want a hacked camera as a backup, since there might be some potential reliability issues. But overall, I still think the GH2 has a purpose today. If you don't want to spend a ton of money on a camera that might only be used for a second angle once in a while, and mostly serve as a backup, the GH2 does the job. In fact, this entire video has been shot on the GH2. So, like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see some more, and I'll see you next time.